What we'll do likely going forward is something along the lines, we'll have like a training in the morning, and then we can help you guys find deals. If you guys want to help us make calls, we can do all sorts of things. And the goal is to get you guys deals for yourselves. So I tell you guys, I've told you guys some of this if you guys were watching the Elephant Challenge. Date around, find leaders that you think that you jive with, the times jive with. But if once you find somebody, it's okay if we're not the people, somebody else might be the people, but once you find somebody, kind of stick with them because they'll take your hand and go through. We had a leader meeting and all of us are going to compensate the baby elephants the same way. So you can't shop, wouldn't recommend shopping your deals. We want you to make money. You will make money. We want you to learn. So, so that's what we'll do. So today I am Carly. I help Pace do a lot of stuff, but I've been in real estate investing since forever, like probably not forever, since probably about 2011 or 2012. I did a lot of it the traditional way while working a W-2 or my 9-to-5. And so I just found Pace 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And this creative thing, we bought the house I'm in now creatively, and I thought it was illegal, but it's not. We found Pace on Bigger Pockets. And then so got in the subto mentorship. I'm a subto mastermind student. Pace and I built a really good relationship. He's like, I want you to help with my communities. So I'm also working with Pace, but I have my own business. I do a lot of creative deals. I just closed 2 deals last week with a newbie, which was really exciting. Jen and I have a podcast, Building an Empire State of Mind. So that's right afterwards. If you guys want to come to that, you don't have to, right after this. And Jen I'll let Jen tell you about her, but we're we want to help people get their first deals and help JV to get their first deal. So Jen, tell us about you and I'll stop talking.
Hi, everyone. So I am Jennifer Champion. I am actually Canadian. I have been in real estate since March of 2020. And right now, my husband and I have 14 active builds. We do multifamily on the other coast of Canada. And I am looking at getting into the US. So that is kind of how Carly and I met, I guess almost 2 years ago, which is crazy. No, a year ago.
Yeah, we both joined the same mastermind. I think Erin is in that same mastermind too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we met.
That was the first time I had ever heard about Pace. And then at a breakout session of that mastermind that we were all in, he basically told me to get over myself and be more present on social media. And yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. I've met lots of people and yeah, just here to help. I remember what it was like when I bought my first duplex and have moved into many crazy other things. So I am happy to answer any questions and help people get started.
Yeah. And Jen just started 3 years ago and she's a big time developer. She's a capital raiser. She's under promoting herself. So she's a real go-getter. Jen makes shit happen. So she has made a lot of stuff happen in 3 years. So that should give you guys also a lot of encouragement. So you just stay consistent, stay at it, surround yourself with the right people. And so France, you have a good question. How do I get a leader? I saw accountability groups. So there's all these accountability groups. We can't assign every single person accountability group. So that's what I was just saying when we started. Go into the accountability groups, find leaders that you jive with, so Jen and I are leaders. If you're like, this call sucks and I don't want to come on this one ever again, then come back, go to Angie's. Everybody jives differently, but if you love us and you want to come back and you want to learn from us, everybody's welcome. You're free to float around, but my desk is just decided to go up. I have a desk and everything started to fall off it. So anyways, that's how you get leaders. You'll just jump in, find times that work for you, find the leaders that work for you. And you're in a group right now. Jen, you're in Jen's group, France. So like Jen and I are the leaders. You're here. If you want to learn from us, keep coming back Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time, and you'll be in our group. So, does everybody understand how Circle works? Do you guys like need a quick overview on this? Because I know there's some of us that are new and I want to make sure everybody is on the same page before we get going. Perfect. Denise has got it. Is there anybody that doesn't? Don't feel bad to say no. Like we're all learning. We're all in different spots. So I'll just show you guys a quick overview and then we'll get started. Okay, so let's go to Circle.
Feels really uncomfortable on camera. It would be delightful if we saw your faces, but I understand.
Yes, we do want to see your face. Sherry's in here. Hi, Sherry. Sherry is the bird dog for one of the deals that I just closed. She helped me. She found me in the creative group. She had a friend that needed some help. And I just paid Sherry some money last night because she was a bird dog. Do you guys all know what bird dogs are? This is how you guys can make money. Even if you don't know what you're doing. Sherry didn't know. She's like, I don't know what to do with this house. It's down to the studs. It has no plumbing. It has no HVAC. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I have a friend that needs help. It was in foreclosure. We stopped the foreclosure. Sherry just brought me the deal and I closed it and I got for those of you that follow me, I got a subto RV, which I'm super pumped about, which is their RV was in, what's it called? Deferment, delinquents. What is it called? Where you defer the payments. And then their house was going to foreclosure. So Sherry, I'm so happy you're here. You guys can make money. She just got paid for that. So, okay. So, now I will show you guys around the elephant challenge stuff. So here is home. Please start here. You guys all have lots of questions to me. And there's stuff down here. Most of your questions are answered in here. Check out the rules. Here's the account. Here's the announcements. This is just me posting. So if you guys have any questions, most of your questions will be here. And these are all the groups. So this is when the groups are. Heard Up with Gary and Patrick. This is when they meet. These will all be, I'm in Pacific time. So these are all in Pacific time. These will be local time for you guys. Dumbo Dial, if you want to go to Dawn and Mike's, if you want to go to Angie's, hers is great. They have a chat too. Holanda's heard. So here's the times. And then ours is down here. So I don't know why it's only showing 2 on ours. I had it repeat. But it's going to be every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 noon Pacific to 1:30. So that's the quick overview of the Elephant Challenge. You'll find all the trainings here. Day 4 got removed because we had addresses and they thought we were harassing people. I'll put it back up. Your resources for anything that's ever been shared in the Elephant Challenge are here. Links are here. Meetups, if you guys have meetups, and then regional chat. So if you're like, I have a deal in Texas or I live in Texas and I want to meet people in Texas, come into this regional chat. So that's the quick and dirty of Elephant Challenge. Let's see. And yeah, Jen says, bring us your deals and we'll help. So we're going to help you guys, show you guys how to find markets. We're going to show you how to comp. We're going to show you how to underwrite. We're going to show you guys all the basics of stuff. So bring us, if you have your own deals, we'll show you get deals. We'll pull lists for you guys. We'll have sales training and everything. Brandon's like, I always thought a bird dog was a step below a wholesaler. There's no steps really. Like it's just a way to make money. So I could be a bird dog for Jen and be like, Jen, I found this land that you might want to develop up in Canada. Can I connect you? And you pay me some money to connect you to these guys. So like, that doesn't mean that I'm step below or step above anyone. It's just a way to make money. I heard Jen talking about tell us about that, the Starbucks method of finding markets.
That was on last week's live for the podcast. So basically when you are trying to find like a really active market, so if you're trying to dispo things or anything like that, go where there's a Starbucks. Starbucks spends hundreds of thousands of dollars in research and development for you. So they know the emerging markets. They know where people are moving to, moving out of. So just look at where Starbucks is. That was my grand Starbucks theory.
And, you know, I know that Vina Jetty, are you guys all familiar with, yeah, Chick-fil-A as well. Vina Jetty, always when she buys, she's a huge, if you don't know, she buys multifamily. She's kind of a big deal in the multifamily space. She's almost done $1 billion of multifamily transactions. Anyways, she always looks, if she's going to buy something, is like they walk to the closest Starbucks and they see how close is Starbucks, because they want their tenants, everyone goes to Starbucks. I went to Starbucks and bought this. Who doesn't go to Starbucks? So that's a really good one. Do you guys have any questions, or do you want us to just jump in onto everything? Chris, I'm still trying to figure out how to find deals so don't waste everyone's time while looking on Privy. So what do you mean, Chris? You can either, if you don't want to talk, and put it in here, to bring to subto. So that's what we're here for. So if you guys, we'll start next week, or we can even start today. I just wanted to get to know everybody today, and Q&A, but that's what we're going to go for, Chris. Stick with us or stick with any of the other leader groups. Then we can help you. Bird Dog doesn't lock up contracts specifically. Bird Dog just is a connector mostly. If you're a Bird Dog that locks up a contract, then you become a wholesaler, and then you assign that. So if Sherry had found somebody, locked up that subto contract, and then came to me and was like, can you help me dispo this? Dispo means find a buyer. Then she would be promoted to wholesaler. I shouldn't say promoted, because there's not a level. There's no level of this. It's not like wholesaler is below anything, or Bird Dog's below anything, right, Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin, a lot of the groups do the same things. I know Knowles knows is a lot of the basic stuff. I know that Angie and Dom, and the Bash brothers are doing kind of the same thing we're doing, is where you have training in the morning, and then we can pull lists and you guys can make calls, and we can help coach you around your calls. And then if you like, I have somebody that might be interested, I have no idea what to do with it, let Jen and I know. We'll have a Zoom, so we can call somebody and we can help lock it up, and we'll show you guys how we do it. So and then, so you guys also, Loyens Den, yes, Jose is based in Florida, but we can do deals anywhere. Jen's not even in this country, and she can do a deal here. So you don't have to be in Florida. If you're in Florida, you don't have to be in Jose's group. If you want to be, that's great too. So
yeah, and like when you're looking at markets too, like you can be looking in more than one market, because when you're dispoing, there's people who are going to buy in Colorado who don't buy in Arizona, but there's other people who buy in Arizona, right? So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And what we'll do is we can help you find so what we'll probably do, we can even start today too, but we can show you how to find markets. So there's good markets, and then there's not so good markets. So like if you look in the saturated markets where everybody's investing is Phoenix, Texas, Florida,
Carolina, Tennessee.
Carolinas, those are great markets. And so that's because there's a lot of buyers there. So you do want to go where there's a lot of buyers, but then if you go to like Fargo, North Dakota, like there's not a lot of buyers in North Dakota. That doesn't mean that there's not any, but it's just harder to find buyers. So when we go to Privy, we can launch Privy in a minute. Then we can show you, you can see by the map. So you guys can go anywhere. Austin, you're from Idaho. I'm from Idaho too, and that's one of my markets. So if you have anything, Austin, you're like, I have something in Idaho. It doesn't have to be. Or if you're like, I have something in North Carolina or Texas or Fargo, North Dakota, we can do it. Sherry's in Idaho too. Yep. Let's see. When dealing with pre-foreclosures, the deal will likely always be subto. Is this correct? Likely, unless you have somebody that has and I go for sub 2 because that's the easiest one to dispo and it's the easiest one to do. You can pre-foreclosures if you know somebody that wants, that's likely on the market. So if you know somebody that's going to go and pay all their arrears, which is what they haven't paid in back taxes, in back payments, and then wants to get their own loan, yes, you can absolutely do that. It's ideal to do sub 2 right now because likely they have a really low interest rate. So I haven't looked at interest rates in a minute, but I think they're like 7%. Do you know, Jen?
In the States?
Yeah, you probably don't. Yeah, I forget. I forget that Jen's not
a
here.
lot of traditional property in the States. I think you guys are the same as us. Like we're in that like 5 to 6 right now.
Yeah, Eric says 7.25. So if you have a buyer that wants to go to the bank and get a 7.25 rate or a 7 rate, you can have that as an exit strategy. Creative is nice because it's a lower cost of entry. You inherit their low interest rate. And we always say you want to find the bunnies. So find their pain point. So pre-foreclosure, that's a pretty big pain point. They have not been paying their bills. There's a reason why they're not paying their bills. Something's going on. They're in some sort of pain. What else? Low equity and they have to sell. So low equity on market. That's another one we can show you to pull. Low equity means they just bought the house last year or 2 years ago. They probably have a super low interest rate, like a 2% interest rate when those interest rates were really low. But let's say they have to sell and they need to move to Texas or somewhere because they got fired or their job moved them and but they'll have to bring cash to close. So they paid like $350 for their house and they can maybe get $365 now. You have to remember when you sell on market, it's about 8% of the sales price that the seller has to pay to sell the house. They have 2 agents at 3%. They have closing costs. They have title. They have all this stuff. So you want to find the pain. Let's see. Would you ever do a deal that doesn't cash flow as a long-term rental just to lock in a low rate at 3% and make your money on appreciate? Yes, Jen is right. There are buyers that do this all the time because it's a long game, right? So real estate, if you look at go ahead, Jen, you were going to say something. I'm just talking a lot.
Oh, I was just going to say, we also have to be aware that like, you don't know what the buyer has going on, right? So maybe that buyer's entire portfolio cash flows 50 grand a month and they're going to buy as many non-cash flowing houses at that lower rate as possible because they know in 3 or 5 years, then it's going to exponentially grow, right? So I wouldn't not look at non-cash flowing deals as not a deal because there is someone out there who will buy it.
Yeah. Because if you look at real estate, if you look at any real estate, go to Zillow and look at 5 years ago where that Zestimate was on Zillow. It rarely goes down. It might go down a little bit, but it's still, if you track it, it's going up. So it's a long-term buy. There's a lot of people that will buy that. We also call those homestead buyers. So they might want to live in it and have a 3% rate. There's also you said if it doesn't cash flow long-term. So there's so many exit strategies and we can go over this. There's short-term rental, which is Airbnb, mid-term rental, which is insurance companies. They need a furnished house to put somebody's house is burned down and they need a place to live for a little bit. Traveling nurses, mid-term rentals are ideal. They make the most money. So yes, it doesn't have to cash flow. You just have to find somebody that wants to sell and that will maybe agree to terms creatively. And we can help you with that. Dustin has a question for you, Jen.
Oh, I answered it though. I've
been
been answering. Sorry, yeah.
So Jen, because people are going to watch this back and they're not going to be able to, people are going to watch this back and they're not reading the chat. They can't read the chat.
Sorry, Justin said, Jen, do you only buy land to develop, or are you also buying single family or multifamily in Canada? I said, we buy land, multifamily and single family in Canada. We use a lot of different strategies. And then in the US, we're looking for multifamily and single family.
Yeah. Denise says, as a bird dog, do we reach out to the agent or seller before sending it to you? You can. It's ideal to do that, is to reach out. So if you're just like, hey, if you see an agent, you're like, a lot of things, and we'll do this in training too, is like, just reach out to the agent and be like, hey, my partner and I are buying in your area. Is terms or is something you'd be open to? So it's good to have that conversation and be like, would you be open to terms? Would you be open to A, B, or C? And then make that initial connection. Yep. So you can reach out to them first, or if you have a friend like Sherry did, it's like, I have a friend that's in trouble and just needs help. So Sherry, I don't know if Sherry reached out to the seller first and asked if she'd be interested. She just came to me and was like, I have this deal. Can you maybe help her? So for sure.
I was trying to ask her if, she was open to it, but she didn't understand and I didn't know enough to tell her.
Yeah.
So I just deferred to you.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's how Sherry did it. And Sherry got a bird dog fee from me for that. So it's ideal if you like, if in this type of situation, because you'll probably be doing outreach or something. Like if you're doing, you can't just, don't bring us a listing and be like, will you call them and see if they're open for creative? And if they are, can I have a bird dog fee for that? So that might not be something, but Sherry had a friend and was like, listen, I have this friend that needs help. Can you help her? I have no idea what I'm doing, but I want to connect you to. So because you do, then yes, like that's a bird dog. That would be a bird dog situation.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, and knowing it's a warm lead, right? Like you should have some sort of understanding of the situation of what's going on.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Let's see. I've been looking for off-market scanning sheriff lists in New Jersey, and that's what I was thinking of. The only way a buyer would get into would be subto. Also, the case is there's an agent on the pre-foreclosures and we can't speak with the seller directly. How do we, oh, that's a good question. How do we deal with that with explaining subto? I think you might have just said that. That's a really good question. So we call agents that understand creative unicorn agents, because we'll pull agent, we can do that even right now if you guys want. We can call agents that maybe have houses that are low equity and they're on the market for a long time. So that's a good list to pull. And agents that don't understand it can be like, no, that's illegal. I'm not even going to present this offer. Or if they are like, I don't know, maybe. So you have to kind of, it's tough. It's just another fence. You have to, just another barrier you have to break down when it's on market. So you have to get the agent on board and you have to be like, listen, I want to help you do this. A lot of the things that I say with the agent, I'm like, listen, I want terms, but here's what I'll give you. Terms is like taking it over subto. Here's what I'll do. I'll pay your commission, so the seller doesn't have to pay your commission. I'll pay the closing costs, so the seller doesn't have to pay the closing costs. I'm not going to haggle you on your price because likely it's been sitting there for a long time and they've been dropping and dropping and dropping it. I'm not going to haggle you on concessions. I'm not going to be like, there's a crack in the sidewalk. I need you to fix that before I even think about buying, else I'm pulling. So, so you want to make it, so then the agent's like, when you're like, you're going to get paid, that's what they want, especially if it's been high days on market. They're getting a little desperate because their listing might expire soon. So, so what we do ask is I'll be like, if you're open to it, can we have a conversation with the seller? Because there is a lot of questions, then you have to pitch subto and you have to understand like, or seller finance or whatever the creative strategy is. And it's important to pitch it to the seller because you know that game of telephone where you're like, you whisper something and then it gets passed down. And then by the time it gets to the person at the end of the line, it's not even the whole, nothing. It's all different. So when wholesale, oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, Mike has just tried to unmute to ask his question.
Oh yeah. Hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
I'm from Miami, and about like 3 weeks in, and I'm doing the driving for deals course,
Nice.
and so I'm building a list, and I don't know. There's no batch have any SMS texting service anymore. I was wondering if you had any suggestions. Should I just call, or maybe yeah, I don't got
You know,
stuck there.
we can do that with you, Mike. If you have something, so this is a great thing. Mike's been driving for deals. He has some addresses, but he's like, I don't have a texting service. I don't know if I can pull it up. I don't know if I have batch, so you can bring that to us, and we are going to set up a texting situation in a CRM, and we can get in there and show you guys behind the scenes, and we can help you text them and reach out to them and pull their contact information, find out how much is left on their mortgage, if it's a good subto deal. So we can definitely help you with that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would just like show you my list, or
Yeah. So next week we'll start pulling lists and we'll do calls. And
yeah, because batch driven, I emailed them, and they said that they don't do it because they wanted to protect their clients, or because there's, I guess, texting is, I don't know.
wait, say that again.
So I emailed batch driven, and they told me that they don't do that anymore. They don't do the texting service anymore because
Oh,
protect their clients. So I guess there's some kind of law against texting or something that
yeah.
just recently came up or something.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. They switched stuff a lot.
Yeah.
last year. And I think that was one of them, that they don't do that anymore. But we have a service that Jen and I have that we're setting up. So
right.
you're happy as a team mate on our team. We're happy to help you with that and pull the lists of the addresses, and we can find out all the information with them and text them for you on the texting platform. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To be here. I was in Jose's group yesterday, but I was a little shy. I don't know. I feel like I can talk here. I don't know. So we'll see.
Good. See, that's what I was saying. Date around. See, Jose's a great guy, but it's just like, everybody's different, and you jive with different people. So we're happy to have you here. If you're like, these people suck, I'm out of here, then we can still be friends. That's okay.
Well, so far so good. So thank you.
Yeah, good. So Tessa's, keep me updated on that texting service. I currently use Launch Control. So Jen and I, what we're doing, we just set this up. So next week we're going to be setting up texting in a CRM system. So we'll put all of so let's say Mike wants to be on our team, and he's like, I have this list. And so we'll take Mike's list and we'll put it into our system. So we'll have the names of the people, we'll have their phone numbers, we can text them, all of that. So, yeah. Sherry says date around. How long is the property online before it expires? So that's different with every single, when a realtor signs a contract with a seller, I think they're usually 120 days, 110, 120 days, Jen.
I think it's 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about 4 months. So typically, sometimes it's like a seller's like friends, and they're like, let's just keep extending it. I'm just going to put it there, 6 to 12 months. Yeah, iPhone Justin. Thank you. So
It's hard though, because if you like some agents will remove it and then relist it at a lower price so that it doesn't look like it's been sitting on the market for 4 months. So
that's a really good point. Very good point. So I can show you guys how to see this. Let me see here. Let me go to I'll show you guys real quick how to tell. So where's my share screen? Okay, so I think I just have this pulled up from, I was in McCall last weekend, so that's why that's pulled up. So property details. So if you come to the listing, it's different on every single one. property history is where you want to go. So you can see it was removed. It was listed at the beginning of the year and it was removed. And then it was relisted in May. So this is one. And then you can see where they keep dropping the prices. So this might be this is a very high, what's it called? A high value one. So it's almost $1 million. You kind of want to stick with the median price range. So if you just have a bigger pool of buyers, those more luxury and more expensive, it's just harder to find buyers. So it's not impossible, but this could be a motivated lead. So they removed the listing in January. They listed it again for $1 million. They dropped it 25,000, dropped it to 99, so they're just dropping it. This shows a lot of motivation right here. Exactly what she was talking about. Ricardo, do you have questions?
No, I wanted to see if I can tell you about a phone call I just had with an agent about a hot property here in Florida that is going on auction July 12th, right? And I've been talking to the seller for over a month, so I know the seller before the agent came in last week. So they've been 8 days. So we have a rapport. Right, he's sad. He's been postponing it forever. But I see his mental state. He's very sad, depressed that he's losing his home. But he's a tough cookie. He wants the money. You know, he wants all the money he can get. And he have only 5 days because it's July 12th, right? So the payoff quote is $639,000.
Okay.
To bring the loan current is $281,000, and to take over the mortgage.
Wow,
Deutsche Bank. Yeah. So Deutsche Bank. That's a lot. But the agent said Deutsche Bank will not accept a subto because they are in financial trouble. She's been reading the news about Deutsche Bank. And I'm like, do they really need to know? I don't think they need to know. They have to accept it.
So
right?
that's a really good question. That was one that I just stopped a foreclosure with the one that Sherry sent to me. And that was the same thing. They were behind and I found a buyer that would pay the money, but we don't tell the bank. Like the bank does not need to know. They're going to get their chunk of money. They're whatever, $15, $20, $120,000. It's going to be deposited in their account. They're not going to ask questions. If you get 120,000, I mean, they can, but likely they won't. So yeah, we don't really tell the bank what we're doing. It's as long as the bank gets paid, it doesn't matter. And usually, especially bigger banks, will it's more expensive for them to call a due on sale clause. So due on sale would be like, every loan has a due on sale clause that says, if you sell this house, if it transfers owners, then you have to pay us off. So as long as you're paying them and depositing money into their account, it's going to cost them a ton of money to hire lawyers and go after and get this due on sale clause. So we leave the bank in the dark for sure. Yeah. And then we just give them their money and we're like, sorry, we were late for a couple months and here's your money back, and don't sell my house. Don't foreclose on it. So, but this guy, he only has 5 days and he's holding out. So likely, even if we could find, let's say I was the buyer for this, likely if a buyer is coming in and paying $200 and something thousand to catch up their loan, it's going to be very hard for the seller to walk away with anything. Usually in a foreclosure situation, we're stopping the foreclosure, we're saving their credit. We're going to start paying on time. So their credit is going to be pristine as long as on the housing payment side, because whoever buys it is going to be paying it on time. So even for that guy, it's going to be hard for him to get money, walk away unless, and he has 5 days left. And it takes a long time to sell a house, especially with a traditional financing way. So what is his plan? Is he just gonna let it go? Is the realtor gonna just let him go into foreclosure and say subto is against the law?
The realtor is hoping to get an offer and run to the courthouse with the contract and try to stop the auction, because he cannot declare bankruptcy because he already done twice. So and the thing is, I think she's worried about, because she asked the question, I have to respond to her today. She asked the question, what do you need me for then if you're gonna do subto? I think she's worried about, I'll tell her, I'll pay your commission.
Yes.
Right? Don't worry about it. That's what I'm going to respond. I just, it was great advice you just gave us here. So make sure that she knows we're going to pay her a commission and all that stuff. But if we have 3 options, one is to make an offer for like 740, like get the 630, add 100, still it's a good ARV. He's probably not getting any much money because all of the costs, right? But then we can do the subto, which would be the best. I say the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly is a short sale, that she's an expert on short sale and she can help that. But that takes time because it goes to the bank, they have to approve, they have to say yes, no, and he will get 0 money and his credit is going to go down. It will
be in the tank. And I don't even know, she has 5 days. She can't sell a house in 5 days. Unless somebody comes in with cash. And then you said that you offer 700, but do you have a buyer that is willing to either go to the bank or pay cash 700,000 in 5 days?
40,000. Yeah, that'll be a hard one loan. I just contacted 2 buyers today. I'm waiting to hear from them.
Okay. That's good. So you're thinking ahead. That's really good. That's what I was asking. So you've thought ahead. You're like, I need to find somebody that wants to pay cash for this. And then is it still at a discount for these likely flippers?
Yes, the houses are selling for 1 million, 1.1, 950. So the range is between 920 and 1.1. Is all over the place in that area, all over the place.
So then you have to factor in, you'll have to pay. So what's the house listed at?
He wants 850.
Okay, and you would offer how much?
740.
So 740,000 times. So I'm going to do 8%. So that's actually, I'm not going to do 8%. I'm going to do 6%. 740 times, because what we say is we'll represent ourselves. So there's not going to be a second. There's not going to be a second agent. Oops, I can't type. So 740. So then you're bringing to the table, that's $444,400 just to pay the agent and pay the closing costs.
Yeah.
And then how much, if then they have cash, how much are they selling it for? What did you say, 740?
Yeah. 7.
So they have to bring 784,400 cash to close. You probably want some money to be a connector, right?
The payoff quote is 639. Yeah, yes, I do definitely. Yes.
So it might be better, even if you do have buyers, is to get it under contract sub-2 and wholesale at sub-2. So they don't have to bring almost $1 million to cash to close.
Yes.
Well, that's not almost $1 million. It's a lot of money though.
That's my favorite path. That is, I say, that's the good. And I told her about it. I said, this is the good path for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Then there's the other option. And then there's the ugly short sale. I have to respond today. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
To get some feedback.
So if you have buyers that have 200 and something $1,000 cash to catch it up, what I would say your best option would be is to get it under contract sub 2. What's the interest rate?
It used to be 2.8, but since he defaulted, now it's more like closer to 6, 5
So
something.
that's hard too. So it's a high interest rate. So the benefit of buying sub 2 is you get that low interest rate. And one of my favorite things is to say is like, can you get better terms at a bank? If you can, it's probably not a good deal. So they would have to put, as a buyer, it may not be a good deal because they would have to bring 200 and something $1,000 cash down and then go get a 6% interest rate. They could put down less at a bank and get a 6 to 7% interest rate.
Yeah, it's 5.75. I
Yeah.
just saw.
Yeah. So, Alexi, can interest be reverted to original after Roberto brings the loan current? Can the interest be reverted to, I don't know. I think we're getting too deep into the creative right now. We want to stick to the basics. Like so Ricardo, if you want to work offline, so if you guys have something like this, I don't want, because we have so many newbies in here. I want to stick to the basics. Creative is just like, it's like starting in a blizzard. It's just a lot. So if you guys have something like Ricardo does, and we can work, I can work Jen and I can work one-on-one with you, and we can go into that. And then later we can bring it to the group and we can talk about it when it's done and just give like a high level overview. But I really want to stick to the basics. And then when you guys, so we are going to get deals, just like Ricardo has this deal, and we can teach you creative as long as we're JVing together and we can give you the documents. So if you guys have something, if you bring us a deal like Ricardo, we can walk you through this, bring you the documents, do the negotiating with you, help you dispo it, all that stuff. So, let's see, what else? How much should an elephant expect to pay somebody in sub 2 to order to JV with them? This is an excellent question. So, the elephant leaders, we all have a pay structure, and I can pull it up, that we're all following, that we talked about yesterday in our meetings. So if you're coming through as an elephant challenge person, so we're doing a lot of teaching, we're doing we're pulling lists, we're creating the CRMs, we're doing the texting. We have paid, I'm a sub 2 mastermind student, it's like $9,000 to get in, and then it's $15,000 for the mastermind. So we've paid a lot of money to get into this. So we also will make money on it. I'll show you, let me find I'll show you guys how we have it. So if you guys bring us a lead, let me pull it up right here. Okay, share screen. So this is our pay structure. Every deal is based on an assignment fee of $10,000 max. Baby elephant, if you bring a lead to us that gets closed, we give you $500. This is just herd of profits. This is the elephant leader. We need to fix the name. If we dispo the deal, it's a 70-30 split. Payout is $3,000 max. If we have to renegotiate the deal, the payout is $1,000. If we turn it into a creative deal, it comes out to $1,000. Or if we get a lower price, you guys get $1,000. If you are boots on the ground, so if you're in Florida and you have a Florida deal and we're like, go check this out, put a sign out front, take pictures for us, that's an extra $500. If we provide you the list and you help get it locked up, the payout is $1,000. And then if you're boots on the ground in that place, it's another $500. Or if you bring a buyer, it's $1,000. So you can it's adding all this up. So let's say you brought a deal that gets closed, you get 500, but you're also boots on the ground, you get an extra 500. But let's say you brought the lead on your own list, then you get another 1,000. If you bring the buyer, you get another 1,000 on top of that. So that's the payout structure for every single elephant leader to JV with subto. So does that answer your question? For what if we're wandering to, you can purchase the property yourself for sure, Dustin. Yes, you can. You can be the buyer and you can get paid to buy it. So you'll probably be paying yourself though, because it'll be the assignment fee. But yeah, for sure, you can purchase it if you want to. If there's arrears, you want to pay those. How much would it be to pay? That's for us JVing with you. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you want to know, Dustin, if you're buying the house and how much would we pay you to do a JZ with us while you're buying? Is that what you're asking, Dustin? I think so.
I guess it's probably easier if I just come off mute.
Yeah, that might help too, huh?
I forgot we could do that here.
Yes, you can.
But yeah, so if we bring you a deal that you purchase, obviously, you know, you'll pay us out. If I have a deal, I have a call with a seller tomorrow. I want to actually buy the house because I need the tax acceleration because my income is not taxed and want to have the house. It's not far from me. How much would we pay you to JV with us to help us close the deal? Whether that's, you know, you have all of the contracts, maybe I bring you onto the seller call to help me get a better deal or just talk them through. What does that cost, I guess?
That's a good question. I think we'll have to bring that back. I was just talking to my husband about this because Pace is like, you can give your contracts away, but you have to, you can't give them away for free or for like, you basically can't sell the contracts, you know what I'm saying? So that's a really good question. We don't have that in there. I think it might, hang tight. That's a really good question. That's not in there. So I will find out because I want us to all be on the same page, all the sub-2 students. So you're not like, oh, did I just waste my time with Carly and Dawn over here is going to pay me, only going to charge me $500 or something. You know, I want us to all be on the same page. So
sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to if it works out. Use the call as education too. If we want to do a live call with them.
Yeah, and we can do that too. We can, if you want. It also depends how much you have done. So like, let's say you have it locked up, you have it negotiated, it's ready to go. And you're like, Carly, I need some contracts. It might be a different price than if you're like,
can you come on?
Holy shit, they think they might be doing it, but I need someone to negotiate it. I need a TC. I need contracts. Just like, all that stuff. So it could differ, but hang tight. I'll come back to you guys on that. That's a really good question. And how much time do we have? We only have, so Jen and I we do our podcast live at 1. We're doing Jen. I'll let Jen tell you guys about it. If you guys want to come, you're more than welcome to. So we don't have enough time to call today, but we're going to be here at the same time on Monday and Wednesday. So Dustin, if you want to send me a message, we can just kind of go back and forth and I can call for you if you want. We can do all that stuff too. So come back on Monday. I'll have your answer and we can do the calling and maybe we can make it an educational
I think I'm calling him tomorrow, but let's probably lock it in and then we can talk if I need another conversation, bring it in.
And let me know if you want me to help with anything, just DM me, we can talk.
Is Facebook or Circle the best way to reach either one of you guys?
Yeah. How do we want to be contacted, Jen? I want to keep us all in the same place. Why don't you just reach out to me on Circle just right now? And then Jen and I are going to we'll probably get an email that we both look at that we can have for this. So, but for now, get a hold of me on Circle and we'll talk.
Okay.
So
cool.
You don't have to wait till Wednesday. Thanks, Dustin.
Cool.
Okay, we only have just, do I prefer PropStream or Privy? So those are two different things. You were gonna say
I'm
something.
just gonna jump off in case she jumps into StreamYard.
Yeah. Okay, no, we got,
Okay.
yeah. Okay,
Bye, everyone. See you on Monday.
bye. Okay. PropStream and Privy do two different things. Privy helps you find the deals. PropStream will do all sorts of things. It does a lot more. I use PropStream because it does all the things. So, but Privy does have a place. Okay. Whoa, friends, you're learning more here than since I even started. Oh my gosh, that means so much. That's why we're here. We're here to help you guys. So Victoria says she uses PropStreams. Where do I post these two properties? So Victoria, I think if you had questions on this, DM Jen and I on Circle. Oh, she put your stuff in there. Jen put our emails in there. So I'll post our emails in there in our group. So we have a group chat. So you guys can go see there if you guys have questions, if you have follow-up questions, if you're like, I don't understand something, we'll be in there too. So we are happy to help. And then we will be here on Monday. So I hope that we all see you guys back on Monday. If not, I'm glad that you guys came. Let's see. Are there Gator opportunities in the Elephant Challenge? And in here, there's always Gator opportunities. Do you have experience with connected investors similar to PropStream? I have no idea what connected investors is. Brianna, if anyone needs boots on the ground, Brianna's in Charlotte. That's a good place to be. That's a hot market. Monday, what time? Thank you, Victoria. 12 p.m. You'll see on here. Okay, I gotta go, but I'll show you guys real quick. To our elephant. I have 8 gajillion tabs open, you guys. So you guys will find whenever ours are, we are building an empire group with Jen and Carly. So here it will show all the times right there. I'll get them there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now, I just have 2 put up. So you're more than welcome to come to that if you want to know where it is. Here's the link. My internet is slow today, you guys. Right here, here's the link. Here's that you can add it to your calendar if you want. And then if you guys have questions, right here is our Building an Empire group chat. So if I put here's this, I'll put the copy of our recording in here. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask us in here. So we'd love to have you back. We're going to be on, if you want, you can watch our, we do our podcast live. If you want, you guys can come to it. We have, oh Lord, I logged out of everything because I was fighting with YouTube yesterday. So let me find. We live stream it to YouTube. So if you guys want to see it, you guys can come to our right here. YouTube.com/Carly Grundmann. Sarah Etter has built a $50 million portfolio in just 4 years. We found her on Bigger Pockets. Jen found her before she was even in real estate. She was on a Bigger Pockets podcast. So if you guys want to come, I'll just jump it in here. No need to if you don't want to, but that's why we got to cut it short today. Oh, good Lord. I have so many tabs open. I'll put it in here if you guys want.
Put it all in. Thanks so
I'll
much.
put it all in there. I'm going to put it in our chat too.
Cool.
Feel free to like and subscribe. I have a fun thing on my YouTube channel with Pace. I got a subto deal in Meridian, Idaho. That's
great. This was the most helpful thing since I've started. Thank you so much.
My heart's so happy. If you guys find it's helpful, or if you're like, I wish it would be more helpful this other way, let us know, because we want to help. Oops, I just did it on a direct message. We want everyone to be helped. And so, if you find something not helpful or really helpful, let us know. Okay, I have to go because it starts in 1 minute, but thank you all for coming to our first meeting. I'm super pumped to do deals with you guys and make some money with you and teach you. And oh, Dustin, you guys are just making my heart so happy. You guys are the best.
Thank
I love
you.
guys. Thank you
You're the best.
guys. I gotta go. Have a good day.
Bye. Good weekend.
Thank you. Good weekend.